What's up, family? This is Chris, and I'm taking this opportunity to address a lot of questions that I have been getting as it relates to development for the choir and praise team, or for choirs and praise teams in general. I've been getting a lot of questions about vocal lessons and how are we going to develop and just those kinds of things. And so I'm taking kind of a different avenue and a different platform to address all the questions all at the same time. So, first things first, we are going to start off with breathing. I'm going to take us through all the basics, and this will help us to develop as better singers. Starting at the base, starting at the very beginning, we're going to deal with breathing and breath control. This is a really big one for me, and I'm a stickler about it because breathing is at the basis of just about everything that we do. You even need to breathe just to speak correctly. Any kind of stress or any kind of traumatic thing that we endure, the first thing they tell you is, hey, breathe, because it's that important and it's that vital. All the more vital if you're a singer or a vocalist. Breathing is everything. Breathing is the building block and the basis. Before you get to pitch and runs and all that stuff, breathing is at the bottom of it all. And so we're going to start off with, I don't like to say the correct way to breathe. There's no correct or incorrect way to breathe, but we're going to start off with the mindful way to breathe. That is, in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And this is for a very specific reason, especially as it relates to singers. If you breathe in through your mouth, you take in all the air as is. And if you are inside with climate controlled air, that air can be dry, that air can be dusty, and you will feel it. Have you ever been singing and you feel like there's a tickle happening and you want to cough in the middle of singing? A lot of times that is due to incorrect breathing. So we want to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. The nose has these things called turbinates. They're right along here, okay? You can see them if you look directly into the nose. If you look right up your nose, you can see there's some like fatty tissue along the sides. Those are called your turbinates. And what your turbinates do is they literally moisturize the air and temperature. They control the temperature of the air and moisturize the air as you take it in real time. The body is so amazing. So when you breathe in that air, it's moisturized, it's filtered, it goes out through your mouth. And breathing in that way helps to reduce the harshness of whatever air or environment you're in. So step one, mindful breathing. The second part of mindful breathing is this. I know a lot of times, a lot of us as singers, you hear, sing from your diaphragm, breathe with your diaphragm. I'm here to tell you that's a little bit of a myth. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but the way your diaphragm functions, it is a thin piece of tissue that sits just under your lungs, and it helps to pull air in and push air out. There's no way to breathe without your diaphragm. You need it to breathe. So you already are breathing with your diaphragm. Your diaphragm doesn't produce any sound, so you can't sing from your diaphragm. What they're saying when people say breathe with your diaphragm or sing from your diaphragm, they're looking for you to have a sustained, strong breath under your sound. This comes from mindful breathing. The other part of mindful breathing I'm going to show you is this. When you breathe in, if you place your hands on your rib cage back here, you should be able to physically feel your rib cage expand and contract. You should feel your rib cage wider. It should be expanded right now. And you should feel it go back in. So we're going to practice breathing in that way just a couple times. All of that combined is mindful breathing. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Place your hands back here and let's feel the rib cage. Let's feel the rib cage expand and contract. One more time. When you're breathing mindfully, your shoulders really shouldn't be going up. You don't need to do this. You don't need to do that. And I know a lot of times they tell you to check your belly, but your belly also shouldn't come out that much. Really, any movement should be felt just above the belly. So we're mindfully breathing. We're mindfully breathing. Over time of practicing breathing in this way, you won't need to put your hands behind there. Because you're mindful, you will be able to feel internally, you'll feel your rib cage expand and contract. And then even after even more time, it will become second nature for you to breathe that way. That's how you want to breathe. It's called mindful breathing. It helps you get the most clarity. Even taking deep breaths and getting that good air, getting that good oxygen in, it helps with your brain function. It helps with your body function. And so it can be beneficial to you in more ways than just singing. Once we're breathing mindfully, the next step is sustained breathing. Okay? This is an exercise that a lot of us are familiar with. I've done it with a lot of you if you've gotten a chance to be there when I do warm-ups with you. And this is where we breathe in through the nose and out on an S. So what we're doing with that exercise, that is teaching you how to sustain your breath. The goal of that exercise is for the S sound, the S, to be long and steady. If we can maintain that long and steady, then we know that we're doing a good job with that. When we first do that exercise, we want to be able to do it for at least 10 seconds. That should be goal number one for you. The goal that we want to get to is to be able to hold that for 42 seconds. And remember, the longer that we hold that, the more sustained but controlled that S has to be. We want to avoid any variations in that S. So controlled and sustained is what we're looking for. 42 seconds is the goal, but also if we want to expand further than that, 56 seconds, and then a minute and 5 seconds, up to a minute and 12 seconds. Some of us can even go even longer than that, and it is possible. I don't want to overload you with information, so we're going to stop right there. So just a quick recap. What we covered was mindful breathing. This is breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. We also covered being able to physically feel our rib cage and lungs expand and contract by placing our hands back there and taking those deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. And what we also covered was being able to in through the nose, out through the mouth on an S, sustained and controlled. So just those three things alone, be mindful when you're breathing and do those exercises. All right, so team, that's about it. I don't want to give you too much information and flood you. If you have any other questions, don't be afraid to reach out to me, or you could even leave those questions right here in the comments, and I will make a video to address whatever your concern is. Thank you all so much for your time.